money, 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 money.
Hello, my fine friends, and welcome to episode 9 of Path of Exile Price Check, a series in which I will be taking a tab full of unidentified gear, as you see in front of you now, identifying it with these lovely little orange wisdom scroll doohickeys over here, and price checking it all as I go. My name is Octavian. It's good to see you all, though I can't physically. And it's 4 in the morning, so this episode's probably going to be a little loopier than usual, but we're going to get down to it one way or another. So, I've collected quite a few more bits and pieces of jewelry and belts and stuff than I usually do. It's not really on purpose. I just happened to pick up a lot of them in the last few maps I've been running. And so there's going to be a lot of learning about jewelry and rings and jewels, which are probably the most valuable items in the game to begin with, and probably the best items to know what has value on them and what doesn't. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. It does mean that we're more than likely to find something good in this pile as well, but we'll go through more wisdom scrolls because there's just more things in general. Spell damage, cast speed, crit for spells. Okay, I'm intrigued by you, Maelstrom Gnarl. We'll price check that, that's for sure. I'm still unfamiliar with caster wands, rare ones as a whole, but those are the rolls you're looking for. We'll go ahead and price check that in a little bit, towards the end of this batch. Let's get through some of the rest of it. 46 dex, good attack speed, nothing else. No life, no deal, though those 2 resistances plus spell damage, that is so tragic. So tragic. If that had a really good life roll on it, that would be worth quite a lot of money. Crit multi, and I like flat fizz with crit multi, but the flat fizz is low and there's no life or resists. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh, that belt is so sad. That belt is so sad. Plus 6 to maximum life. Why do you do this to me, belt? Oh boy. It's eye level 84 as well. So that has 3 resistances, 2 of which are tier 1, and 1 of which is still relatively high, the cold res. And it has a very good wed roll, or elemental damage with attack skills roll. If that didn't have life, that would be better. That would be actually better without life. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to use one of the new orbs. We're going to use an Orb of Annulment on this thing. Because if we scour off that life roll, we could make something decent out of this, maybe. Something sellable, at the very least. I don't know how much Orb of Annulments are worth, but I don't intend on selling mine. May not be the best idea to do that. Good crit multi, nothing else. Nothing to speak of there. Nothing to speak of there. 40 res, I guess. 78 life, 23 fire res, a little bit of stats, and a mana base. That could sell for 2, maybe 3 chaos. We'll throw that up. All res plus a wed roll, but really bad damage rolls and no life. Yeah, no life. It's going to be something I'll be repeating a lot. 43 life is not high enough. Nothing good, nothing good. No movement speed and low life. Just a single stat. And not one worth auging. 75 life, a lot of armor. Some strength. Okay, resist. I mean, you could vol that for +1 endurance charges, and you know what? We will. We'll go ahead and do that. Life, a resist implicit, and flat fizz. That could sell for a chaos or 2. No thanks. All attributes is not worth augmenting, because not a lot of people look for attributes on jewels. Spell damage of the staff, we could throw an augment at that. Maybe a hit in like 7% life, and then you can regal it into something decent. Really high attack speed. But sadly not anything else that we're looking for there. Not very good. 13 life. Spell damage of the staff, damage with bleeding, does not synergize at all. 27 life is too low. And good stats and good ES. Especially in an ES ring in the current meta, I don't think that's worth selling, and it's really bricked up with literally the worst fizz roll I could get, so no thanks. Tri-res, ES, and strength. See, this is an example of a piece of ES gear that actually can sell in this meta, so not for much, because if you are playing a CI build, you probably want a crystal belt in your belt slot, but you know, it could sell for a few chaos to someone who just needs the strength as well and can settle for that, so we've got a few pretty interesting pieces of gear, so we're just going to put that heavy belt up for like 3C. And started at 4. This, we're going to try out one of the new toys. Please hit the 6 life. So what an Orb of Annulment does, for people who are not familiar, it removes one single random property. So 4 out of the 5 properties on this are absolutely like amazing and really, really good together. That plus 6 life is incredibly low, and if it gets scoured off, then we've got a real victory on our hands. Let's try. Not wasting any more. Goodbye. Well, no, goodbye. If it had hit the cold res, I might have tried again. I actually might have, but no. Alright, we're going to vol you. Ding. It bricked up. You were going up for 2C to start. You were going up for 2C to start, I guess. Augment, which I got right here. Cast speed and spell damage does synergizing, and maybe sell that for like a chaos or 2. Started at 2. The 2 props, somewhat synergetic one. And let's price check this wand. So, what's really important about this wand is the cast speed roll. You can search for wand and cast speed. I'm going to specifically put cast speed explicit as minimum 12. So if I put total cast speed, it'll get, what is it called? Ooh, I can't remember the name of the wand. There's a wand with a cast speed implicit, and it's not the same base that we have, so we don't want to bring those up at the moment, though we may compare to them in the future. So that's 92% spell damage total. So we'll put it in like 85% total spell damage. I'll put in 80. We'll be a little generous. And critical strike chance for spells of 80 as well. So we'll see what comes up with this search. Possibly a ton of things, possibly very few. I'm not very familiar with wands. 11 results. And we got 5C to start off with, but then it jumps to 30. So what's the difference between these two? Well, this has been up for 5 days, and it hasn't sold, so that's probably part of the difference. 83% spell damage. We had like 10% more than that, so we can keep scrolling down. This has more crit, but still less spell damage. More cast speed, though. It's up for 30C. So it looks like, judging by these prices, given that these generally have more crit than ours, or more crit than ours, or more spell damage, or more cast speed, that's more cast speed. That's more crit and more spell damage. So yeah, judging by that, I would say we could maybe sell ours for 25 chaos. Just judging by this. We'd be undercutting the market a little bit. It's just this being up for 5 days has me a bit worried about the accuracy of its price. And this has been 2, and this has been 1 day, but not a lot of people look for rare spell damage wands, so we can be a little more lenient. So I'm gonna go with 25C. And that was definitely worth price checking, so glad we took the time to. Now, back to the game as we continue our journey through the tab. I may need more wisdom scrolls than I prepared. So many tiny little items for today's episode. Okay. It means it may be a little bit of a longer one. I try to keep them 20 minutes or less, but we might go over that. Alright, let's start over here. Garbage. Spell damage while dual wielding, burning damage. Not worth a regal. That's a lot of strength. No life, though. 21 all attributes, spell damage. That caught my attention pretty quickly, but the rest of it isn't quite good enough. Really good elemental damage with attacks rolls, but sadly no life. 10 life. Max mana, we can aug that. No thanks. Totem damage, we can aug that. Max mana shock doesn't work so well. That is really bad. Really very bad. Mind damage, area damage might sell for a chaos, but probably not. Area damage we can aug. A lot of people don't buy just 2 prop jewels, especially if they don't have life. Oh, speaking of life. God damn, that was really close too. We've had so many tragic items today, guys. It's been depressing. Attack speed is something you want to see in an imbued wand, but has nothing else we're looking for. And that doesn't have attack speed. 1 ES. Impressive. Well done. 89 life, but nothing else to speak of. No. Max ES spell damage and totem res? No. 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 And where was that 2-prop? No. What? Mines are popular right now. It might sell. I don't know why I didn't vendor you or you. What? No. Og, actually. That's why. Okay. Flask charges gained in 81 life is actually not that bad, but there's no resistances or damage rolls on there, so it's not quite good enough. So, Og this, no thanks. Og you, nope. Not the results I was hoping for, but that's fine. And what was on these? One more worthy of an Og. Lightning damage, area damage? Screw it, I'll put them both up for a chaos, but I doubt either will sell. We'll find out. Looks like we might just have enough wisdoms. Yeah, we do. See, I did plan ahead. I came prepared. And speaking of coming prepared, I have one jewel set aside that I would like to price check at the end of the episode as a sort of failsafe, as I do at the end of every episode. I keep 1 or 2 decent items to price check so that we have something to talk about if the rest of the episode is bust, though it certainly wasn't. We had some interesting items early on. Good cast speed, nothing else. Crit chance for spells, and crit multi, but the crit multi is low. The cold damage to spells is low. Sadly, that high crit for spells roll is going to be wasted. Nothing to speak of on either of those. Crit multi, that's worth an Og. All attributes is okay, but that's low. There's no life. There's no life there. Fizz damage is what you want to see, but it's a low roll. And there's no multi or anything. Nope. No. Crit multi is nice, but nothing else useful. Alright, these ones were pretty much all bust here, which is unfortunate. But, you know, they still boil down into augments and alterations and all that. Bleed, ick. Okay, let's take a look at this last jewel here. It's a pretty simple one. Trap damage, crit multi with fire and area damage. So it's a 3-prop jewel that doesn't have a life roll. And I'm just going to kind of try and show a little bit about how to price jewels. It can be finicky. So we're going to search for a jewel. We're going to search for one that doesn't have a life roll, because that's a very important roll, and the fact that we're missing it is pretty big. But we're going to search for one that does have crit multi of some variety. Critical strike multiplier. We actually don't want the total. We want explicit rolls. That's not what I should be searching. I should be searching multiplier. That'll bring it up faster. Yeah, multiplier for spells. Multiplier with cold. So we'll just grab a bunch of different multiplier rolls that it could be. Dual wielding is fine. Fire skills is what we actually have. Elemental skills would cover it. Lightning skills. And those sort of are all in the same sort of vein of what we have. I could go on to do crit multi with various weapons and stuff, but is there one with staffs? Because that could fit the genre, I guess, of the jewel that we have. No, there's just global crit multi, which would also fit. So there we go. And we want a count of one of these. So we want a crit multi roll. We don't want life. Those are 2 important attributes to our jewel. And then trap damage is pretty important. Is there a way to search for a minimum of 3 attributes on the jewel? There might be with PoE trade and I just don't know it, but I can't think of it. Maximum of one of these as well, because we only have the 1 crit multi. This search is getting a little clunky, but let's see what it turns up here. And if we need to thin it, 338 results. Hey, it doesn't just say like over 99 this time. Alright, what we're going to do is actually, this will get us a minimum of 3. We can do rarity rare. Now it's guaranteed to have 3 rolls minimum. 301 results. That thinned it out a bit. Let's add one last filter group for area damage. Now, usually I would just eyeball the price on this, and I have an idea of what price I think this will sell for. But if you really need to do an in-depth search, this is the sort of thing you might want to do. Fire damage, Cold damage. Now the reason I'm choosing these are because these are very generic damage modifiers that can apply to a lot of builds. Elemental damage. Is that a thing that jewels can get? No, it isn't. Okay. Could be just spell damage. Just generic spell damage could work. Yeah. Spell damage while dual wielding or holding a shield or a staff as well. We'll leave it at that. Oop. We already got that one. Shield and staff. And we'll put in a count of one of these as well. Search. That should narrow it down a lot. 51 results. So this is very, very similar to ours. It's got a little bit of extra stats. It's been up for a week. Hasn't sold. And it's got spell damage with a shield, which we have area damage, which is similar, but a little bit more general. More builds can take advantage of area damage than can take advantage of spell damage while holding a shield. So we might have something that's worth more than this one chaos jewel that hasn't sold. Let's see. With a staff, while dual wielding, area damage, trap damage, crit multi with fire skills. This is literally our jewel. Yes, literally our jewel, but with strength and dex at 2 chaos, hasn't sold in 5 days. So yeah. As I said, I had a general idea of what I thought this would be priced at, which was maybe 1 chaos. And this is why. There's a huge abundance of 3-prop jewels out there. And so despite the fact that this looks really synergistic and it has crit multi and those are good things, unless it's a really like meta jewel, unless it's something where there's a ton of people who are looking for jewels that are very similar to this one, like if some sort of fire skill that relied on crit and used traps was really, really, really popular, like a firestorm crit trap build or something, which you could theoretically do, but isn't very popular at the moment. Unless that's the case, you're not going to get a lot of money out of a just 3-prop damage jewel. But that is the final little price check I had for the stream today. I hope we all learned something. I'm still going to list it for 1 chaos because it doesn't take up much space, and we'll just vendor it eventually. But I know I certainly did. That wand was actually quite a pleasant surprise. I hope you all will join me for the next episode. They do come out every other day, so if you enjoy what you watched, episode 10 is on the way very shortly. You can also join me before then, though, if you'd like, as I do stream every single day at my Twitch channel, which is linked in the description below, and you can catch me live any day of the week, usually pretty late in the evening, which is why I record these at 4 in the morning, because I'm usually streaming until like 2 or 3. So if price check episodes aren't enough Octavian for you, you can always find more daily at the Twitch stream. That's going to be it for me today, though, guys. I hope you all enjoy the episode, and I hope to see you next time. Have a good one.